What if they did not mean it the way you think they did? That question will save your peace, your relationships, and your overall life. Keep watching. Generosity proposition. Generosity proposition. That is what I want us to think about. When you hear the word generosity and proposition, what comes to your mind? Generosity, proposition. Generosity, given, abundance, proposition, assumptions, hypothesis, theory, theoretical, just messing around with words. Generosity proposition. Giving others the gift of a better assumption. That is what I want us to think about. This week is about how can I give somebody in my life or people in my life the gift of better assumptions. See, the generosity proposition challenges us from the angle of our reflex. It challenges the reflex that most of us have. We reflectively assume the worst in people. That is a reflex, that is response to, that's how we've been conditioned over time to assume the worst in people. So this generosity proposition is challenging that reflex in us. Assumption of the worst thing in people. Instead, it is asking, what is the most generous assumption? What is the most generous assumption I can make about this person right now? It is asking, what is the most generous assumption that I can make about this person right now? It is not about ignoring wrongs, all right? It is not about ignoring what people do wrong to you or about you or around you. It is not about becoming naive. No. This is about giving other people the benefit of doubt. All right, it is giving other people the benefit of doubt so we can stay grounded. We can be free from mental drama. We can be free from unnecessary assumptions. We can be open to healthier connections. So how can you use this generosity proposition to become better? How can you use it to succeed in your life? The first thing I want us to think about is it protects your peace. You can protect your peace by changing the narrative. You can protect your peace by totally changing the narrative. See, when you assume the best in people, you stop fighting invisible battles in your head. When you assume the best in people, this is so powerful. When you assume the best in another person, you stop fighting invisible battles in your mind. You stop fighting invisible battles in your head. You free yourself from overthinking. You free yourself from offense. You free yourself from imaginary confrontations. How many of us have been plagued by imaginary confrontation? You start feeling angry based on the dialogues in your head. It's not even happening in real life, but there is a dialogue going up in your mind and you start feeling tensed, you start feeling angry. That is one thing that generosity proposition will help you to do. It helps protect your peace by changing the narrative. It also builds deeper, healthier connection with you. Like you are able to build deeper and healthier connections with people. And when you do that, you will succeed because people will be safe with you. People will want to recommend you. People want you around them and they will give you whatever it is that you want to succeed in life. So it's important for you to know that generosity proposition will help you build deeper, healthier connections with people around you. See, generosity in assumption creates emotional safety in relationships. When you are operating from a generosity assumption, you create emotional safety in relationship. See, that doesn't mean you will not set boundaries. All right, that doesn't mean when you are suspecting something you should not find out the truth. That is why I'm saying that doesn't mean you should be naive, but you are generous with your assumption. So when you eventually find out the truth about the other person, you just make up your mind that, see, I've given you enough generosity. You've crossed this boundary. This is it. Do you understand me? So it helps you build healthier connections because you are not naive. You are not deceiving yourself. You are just being generous with your assumption. It builds and develops empathy. You become more empathetical with other people. You become more kind to people. You become more trusting. You trust people. And that is critical for personal and professional growth. Kindness, empathy, and trust is critical. You cannot just start assuming the worst about people and expect them to trust you, expect them to live in your life for a long time, expect them to like you or want to have a relationship with you. You must have generosity proposition. You must assume the best until you see evidence that is contrary. This is naivety. When you see evidence that is contrary to your generous assumption, then that you now dismiss it, then you are naive. Then it can be, we can literally say that is being a fool. You've seen evidence that is contrary to your generous assumption and you're still saying, no, that is being a fool. And that is not what I'm recommending. But I'm saying when you don't see any evidence contrary to your thought process, be generous in your assumption, because it helps build deeper and a healthier connection. It also helps you to lead like a leader and not just a reactor. You don't just react to things. You don't just react to what someone did or did not do. Until you have evidence that is contrary, you don't just react. You lead. You lead better. Do you understand? You lead like a leader, not just a reactor. Leaders who practice generous assumptions inspire loyalty. They inspire loyalty. They don't inspire fear. They inspire loyalty because people can trust them with their vulnerability. Their followers can trust them with their weaknesses. Do you understand? They respond instead of reacting. That is a leader's leader. You respond instead of reacting, because that type of leadership choose understanding over accusation. Do you understand me? You choose understanding over accusation. You need to first understand your followers before you can even instruct them on what to do, rather than just pointing fingers at them and accusing them because of your own insecurity. That is what generosity proposition can help you do. That is how it can help you become more better. And see, there is another point that I wrote down here that I want to share with you, and that is it. It trains your brain to pause, not pounds. All right, not pounds like as if you're an animal that is hunting for something. You take a pause. You are able to see things critically. Before you jump to conclusions, you breathe. Before you jump to conclusions, you breathe and you ask questions. What else could be going on here that I don't see? What else is going on around here about him, about her, that I'm not seeing? Rather than reacting to what they did, what she said, what he said, you don't react like that. You pause. You ask questions. What else could be going on here that I might not be seeing? See, this particular pause will create space for you, for wisdom, for comprehension, for compassion, for understanding. That particular pause is where success happens. Success in relationships, success in life in general. So train your brain to pause. That is how you can use generosity proposition to succeed. You train your brain to take a pause so that you can see clearly, before reacting, before acting out, before deciding what to do. You take a pause, and finally you become the person other people feel safe around. And that is critical in this time that we are in, where everybody is becoming self-centered and more selfish. When you are a type of person that practice generosity proposition, people feel safe around you. They trust you more. When people know that you lead with generosity, they let down their guard. Do you understand me? They let down their guard. Every wall that they've built around themselves, they let it down, especially with you, because they know that they can trust you. Because they know that you are not, anything that you're doing is not a strategy. It is purely who you are. You are a person that has a generous spirit. That openness gives you influence over them. That openness gives you access to their deepest stories. That openness gives you alignment that blame or pointing fingers will never give you. And this is what the final thought I want you to go with today. I want you to ask yourself this question. What generous assumption can you make today that will shift your mood, all right? That will shift your mindset or change your mission? What general assumption or proposition can you make today that will totally shift your mood, that will totally shift your mindset, that will even totally shift your mission? See, the way you see other people says a lot about who you are. And I want you to hear me and hear me well. The way you see other people says a lot about who you are, says a lot about the way you lead yourself, says a lot about the way you lead people. So today, this week, choose generosity and watch what will change around you. Go today, go this week and choose generosity. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.